This is going to be a very, very interesting time period. It's going to trigger a lot of events in people's lives. Saturn is going retrograde on July 13th. Sun is transiting to Cancer, which is trine from Saturn on 16th of July. And Mercury, that's already in the sign of Cancer, is going to take a U-turn and go retrograde on July 18th to August 11th. So I have mentioned the dates here. These dates could be trigger events depending on how your natal chart is. So you must analyze your natal chart, especially if you have planets in Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, right? Trine from, because they're all 159 from it. And this is when it triggers event. Okay, so if you're watching this video, the impact of whatever I'm going to say is going to be more if you're going through Moon Mahadasha, because that's the Lord of Cancer, or Antardasha of Moon. Sun Mahadasha, Sun Antardasha, Mercury Mahadasha, Mercury Antardasha, and definitely Saturn Mahadasha and Saturn Antardasha, because Saturn is going to be trine from this conjunction of Sun and Mercury. Okay. So Saturn retrograde, Mercury retrograde. So let's try to understand this. I'm gonna add timestamps. Let's start with Leo, because Sun is the Lord of Leo, and let's see what this Sun transit has in store for about a month. So I'm gonna open up a Leo chart. You can look at it from your ascendant, and if your Moon is Leo, don't take in consideration anything to do with the physical body, but your mindset and your mentality. You can check with your Leo Moon as well. However, the ascendant chart is way more accurate. If you want an accurate understanding, you should always look at the ascendant and not the Moon. Yeah. So let's see. So Mercury is the Lord of the second house of Leos. Second house is your resources, your savings, your family, your speech, how you speak. One of the main houses related to money. Your family, your resources are seen from there. All right, how you speak is seen from there. And then Mercury is also the Lord of your 11th house of your older sibling, your network circle, your incoming gains. Mercury is governing both the money houses. And then Mercury goes to the 12th house, right? Doesn't like being in the 12th house, Mercury. Mercury doesn't like being in the sign of Cancer either. It considers Moon as its enemy. Does Sun like being in the 12th house? No, not really. Okay. So this yoga that is formed, the conjunction of Sun and Mercury, is called a Buddha-Aditya yoga. Buddha means Mercury, Aditya means Sun. It's supposed to be a very good and strong yoga. But on this particular transit, this yoga, I do not consider it as the best house placement and the best placement even in the sign of Cancer. Okay, so from the position of the placement and this conjunction that is happening, especially with Mercury going retrograde, I do not consider this very good. Now, what are the things it will trigger, right? Because Sun is your Lord, your Lagna Lord. It's the significator of your personality. It's your body, right? It's who you are. The Sun governs that. So Sun going to the 12th house, number one, and Saturn trine from Saturn. This could trigger health-related issues. Okay, so let me first talk about your health, Leos. So this is not the best time for your health, especially with Mars and Ketu conjunction in your first house. Right, you need to be very, very careful about how you drive around. This can trigger accidents as well. Because 12th house is the house of hospitals. Okay, it's the house of expenses. Right, so good time to look after your health. Don't do anything to do with adrenaline. Sports that give you an adrenaline rush. It's time to look after yourself. Also from the expenditure point of view, this could cause unnecessary expenses. So don't suddenly go for a international trip right now. Yeah, although you might, since Mercury is the significator of your friend circle, You may see a lot of, some of your very old friends are reconnecting with you. Suddenly they've called you and they say, hey, I'm in town, or I'm in India, or they've visited you. Okay, and they'll say, okay, let's go here, let's go meet there. You can get these kind of things happening, and then you might just in an impulse suddenly spend money and go there. But I'm not saying don't do it, but be mindful of your expenses, because this particular transit can give you a sudden expense, and it's not the best time to travel because your Lagna Lord is in the 12th house, right? Mercury governs your finances. So the best way to channelize this transit is to spend on yourself, on your body, right? Join a gym. You can fantastic time to help the poor, especially animal welfare, right? Because this is Cancer is full of these nurturing nakshatras. Feed the poor people, feed animals. And you will get good results if you do any kind of charity right now. Okay, it's also to invest on if you're look out for your health insurance. Your family members, get them insured. It's a good time to look at these particular things, right? Long-term investments that will give you benefits later on, right? Not short-term trading, because Saturn, especially trine from Sun. Saturn considers Sun as its enemy, and Saturn is going to be trine from Sun. So it can either give you health-related issues, sudden health-related problems, or it can give your father health-related issues, especially if your Sun is in the sign of Pisces in Uttar Bhadrapada Nakshatra, if your natal Sun is there. Okay? Amazing time for you to, look at research related industries. There could be gain from foreign lands. People who are associated with any kind of business or any kind of source of income which is to do with foreign lands, which is to do with healthcare, which is to do with consulting, which is to do with outsourcing, trade, export, import, to do with counseling, can get fantastic results during this particular time, right? You may get offers for collaboration from people who are in foreign lands, and they might want to talk to you and say, hey, let's meet, or let's get on a call and let's try to expand our business. Let's try to work together. You may get these kinds of opportunities, especially if Rahu is also involved and you're going through a Rahu Mahadasha, Rahu Antardasha. Okay. Overall, in the long term, this is like I've said, this is a fantastic time for Leos to focus on meditation, focus on their own transformation. It's time to lose your ego. It is time to lose all your vices, any kind of habits. For example, your addiction of eating sweets. This is time to transform yourself, especially with Mars and Ketu in your first house, right? Go join a gym, get fit, lose weight, do yoga, indulge in spiritual activity. All right, research, learn astrology, right? Saturn is in the 8th house, in your 8th house. So Leos lately have a lot of interest in the occult science and the unknown. They are looking for answers. A lot of people are going through transformation. This can trigger a sudden job change as well, because Saturn is the Karaka of profession, and Saturn is going to be trine from your Lagna Lord. Now, depending on your chart, whether the job change is going to be, are you going to lose your job, or are you going to get a job? That we have to find out from the placement of your natal chart and how strong Venus is and how strong Saturn is in your chart. But there is some kind of a trigger to do with your career during this particular time that I have mentioned here. Okay, so the ones that are considering moving to a different city, this could also trigger that, a different country away from where you are right now, because 12th house, Sun going to the 12th house. It could, some people may have already made plans to go to a different country during this particular time. If you do, make sure you go to a spiritual place and you donate. Like I said, one of the best things to do during this time is to be associated with helping the needy, helping the poor, feeding animals. Okay. So money is going to come in, but money is also going to go, is what you will observe. From somewhere or the other, you will see that your expenses are climbing up. So keep it very simple, Leos, especially with Ketu transiting in your first house. Look after your health, not the best time for your health. Okay. From the relationship point of view, you may, like I said, you may get a call from someone, one of your exes, like your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend could get in touch with you. So keep an eye out for that. It may not be always good for you, especially with Rahu transiting in your 7th house. It can trigger a new relationship as well. But you need to be very mindful, especially with the current transits, about who you let in your life. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them. And if you have any questions, try to give me more details instead of just the placement of one planet and asking me about your future or a big decision like moving cities and marriage, right? No astrologer can answer that with the placement of just one planet. All right, let's move to the next sign. Let's look at the Virgos. Virgo, you need to look out for your, number one is your health, because Mercury is your Lagna Lord, and especially the time that I've mentioned here from July 18th to August 11th, when Mercury goes retrograde, and especially if your natal Mercury is afflicted by Saturn, Rahu, it could cause health related issues. Sun again is not the best planet for you, although Sun and Mercury are friends, but Sun has the lordship of your 12th house. So this can again trigger expenses. It can expenses especially for hospitals, or it can also trigger sudden travel to sudden travel which you did not plan. It can trigger miscommunication at work. So proofread your emails and texts, especially your work related emails. You may see at your workplace, especially if you are dealing with people from different countries, because Sun here plays the role of people that are associated with you in your life from foreign lands, right? There could be some kind of a miscommunication, work related, and that could cause problems. Okay. Overall, the transit, I consider Mercury retrograde and again Sun there, it can open up job opportunities for people who are looking for a job, especially if the company that looking for a job is multinational company. It has bases in different countries, and also if they have something to do with the government. Okay. Any kind of any signing of legal documents, be a little careful, especially the ones that are in any kind of trade with companies from foreign lands, because Sun and Mercury, it forms a very powerful yoga, Buddhaditya yoga. But like I said, Sun is a malefic planet for the Virgos, although it's a friend of Mercury, but since it has the lordship of the 12th house, it can cause some problems. Okay, you need to look out for your father's help. About relationship, this can cause again emotional outbursts with your partners. Okay, so watch out your communication. I have mentioned that in my other videos as well, especially with Saturn transiting in your 7th house. The ones going through any kind of legal issues right now, again, you need to be very careful while signing documents and paperwork. So any paperwork that you are signing right now, especially contracts, business contracts right now, you need to be very mindful and and read it properly. There could be some kind of a delay, or there could be some kind of a error in the paperwork when it comes to your business and when it comes to your work. So watch out for that. If your natal chart is really really good, if your moon especially and your Mercury in your birth chart is well placed, it is triggering your 11th house. 11th house of network circle and incoming gains. A lot of people could earn a lot of money during this particular time. All right, because Mercury is transiting in your 11th house. You could reconnect with your old friends, your network. You know, so you've lost touch with your old colleagues from your previous organization, and then you see that, oh, they have moved to a different country and now they are trying to get in touch with you. Okay, so you could see those things. From the money point of view, I consider this quite good for you. From the health, it is not the best placement, and even from the relationship point of view, like I said, you may want to not have any confrontations during this particular time. Also, great time to go to spiritual places and isolation, learn something new, right? Be isolated, meditation, yoga, health, anything to do with your health, joining a gym, exercising, you will get fantastic results. Okay. Let's look at the Libra ascendant. So Libra ascendants, you're governed by Venus. Sun is governing your 11th house, right? Although Sun is an enemy of Venus, but Sun is governing a very, very powerful house of their older sibling. Their incoming gains, one of the main money houses. All your gains are seen from Sun. Okay? And where is Sun transiting? Sun is transiting in the 10th house, right? And we all know Sun has a lot of power in the 10th house. It's considered most powerful in the 10th house. And Mercury, which is your 9th lord, one of your most benefic planets, also your 12th lord, but since it's your 9th lord and it's a friend of Venus, I consider this particular transit very, very good for you. Okay, because it's a conjunction of your 9th lord and your 11th lord, which is forming something called as a money yoga or a dhan yoga. All right, and especially Sun transiting in your 10th house can give you a sudden rise. The ones that are employed, they can get recognized at work. Okay, you can also get a promotion during this particular time. The ones that are looking for a job, they can get employed during this particular time. Remember, Saturn is transiting. Saturn is a benefic planet for you, and Saturn is transiting in your 6th house, which is of service, right? Employment is seen from the 6th house. So depending on how your natal chart is, it will trigger events and mostly good for your career. It goes trine from Saturn. Saturn being a benefic planet for the Libras because it's governing the 5th house. Alright? Although Rahu is transiting there, so you need to again look after your health. You need to look after your skin related issues. If you have any skin related problems, you need to look after your gut health. Could have stomach related problems, so watch out for that. Look after your father's health, look after your skin. Also, this could also trigger some kind of people who are in a case, property related case. You could hear some good news during this particular time, but you need to be very careful with, especially the time that Mercury is retrograde. You need to watch out while signing documents. You need to be careful of your communication, right? Especially work-related communication and how you speak to your friends and family during this particular time. You will see that there is a lot. People may be emotionally very vulnerable during this particular time at your workplace, and even some of your family members and friends. You might observe that. And if you're watching this video, this particular time, especially the entire time that I've mentioned here. Avoid any emotional exchanges with your friends, family, and especially at work. Okay, if you do Surya Namaskar, you'll get fantastic results. So it's time to bring back discipline. The ones that are feeling that they are not following a strict routine about eating well and waking up on time, and they're just wasting time. This is time to transform yourself and get fit, get healthy. It's also great time to reconnect with your friends that you have worked before, in a different company, or you've done business with. It's good to reconnect with them. You may get some travel opportunity as well. Travel, especially travel for work, right? You might want to even reconnect with some of your friends who want to do business with you. You might get a phone call that some of your old friends want to meet you. Okay, and for that you might want to travel as well, especially if you're going through Mercury Mahadasha. All right. So all these things are there, but from the money point of view, from your career point of view, it looks pretty good. Yeah. In your natal chart, if your Jupiter isn't really well placed, you need to watch out for taking legal action if you're planning to take legal action on someone during this time. I recommend you to wait for a bit and not do it when Mercury is retrograde. People with Mercury, when Mercury is retrograde in Cancer, people can take sudden emotional decisions which they may regret later on. So be a little careful. Okay, let's look at the Scorpio ascendants. So for Scorpio ascendants, Sun is very, very important, because Sun governs their 10th house of their career, of their karma, what they do in this particular life, right? And Sun is transiting in Cancer. Sun is definitely a benefic planet for the Scorpio ascendant. It's a friend of Mars, right? This Mars has given Sun the lordship of its 10th house, one of the most important houses. How will people earn money if they don't work, right? So one of your most benefic planets is transiting to the 9th house. It may, especially people who are going through Sun Mahadasha, Sun Antardasha, or Sun is Atmakaraka, Sun is Amatyakaraka, which means holding the highest degrees, second highest degrees. It may trigger travel for those people. Okay? So, and especially Mercury is governing their 11th house and the 8th house. So 8th house is not a very good house. So if you've planned a travel already, make sure you visit a religious place. Okay? Go do a puja, a ritual. You'll get fantastic results. It is one of your money houses governed by Mercury. So your 10th lord and your 11th lord getting conjunct. So this could give you fantastic results, and it could give you incoming gains because of a new job, especially the ones who have gotten a new job and they have changed cities or changed their companies, moved to a different place, moved to a different country, or they're looking forward to make that major change in their life. This could be a very, very positive time for you. You could also network with new set of people. You could network with people from very, very powerful, strong family backgrounds, from political backgrounds as well. Yeah, because Sun is the government. Okay, there could be, like I said, there could be travel, there could be change of place. I've mentioned that in my other videos. It is trine from Saturn, so again, it's good to look after your father's health. Your father's health could affect your father's health. It's also great time to learn something new. 9th house is about higher learning. So people who want to get enrolled in a course or learn something new, this is a very, very good time, especially with Jupiter is in your 8th house right now. Anything to do with research, development, astrology, if you want to learn astrology as well, fantastic time. It comes under the 8th house cult, knowledge of the hidden, right? It should come in the 9th house, right? But since astrology is about the knowledge of the hidden, it is looked at from the 8th house and not the 9th house. Overseas travel is also seen because it's happening in the it's happening on the water. Cancer is a water sign, and it's traveling across continents is also seen during this particular time. For your health, this may not be the best time, so look after your health. Join that gym, exercise regularly. That's pretty much it. I've spoken about your health. I've spoken about from the relationship point of view. I think the first couple of weeks is a good time, especially when Venus is still in your 7th house. Yeah, it could trigger. You could meet someone. But overall, I don't consider this time as a good period for your relationship, especially the ones who are already in a relationship. You need to be very, very mindful about how you are communicating with your partner. Okay, see, Mercury, we have to talk about Mercury because Mercury is the karaka of communication, and Mercury is conjunct with Sun, and Mercury will be retrograde. So there could be miscommunication with your partner, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your husband, and also at work, with your gurus, with your authorities, with your manager. So keep an eye out on that, because Sun is governing your 10th house, all right? And this conjunction is happening in your 9th house. So it could trigger some issues, so you need to watch out. Okay? Sagittarius people, this conjunction is happening. Sun is transiting in your 8th house, and Sun is one of your most benefic planet. It's the karaka of your higher education, your higher learning, your wisdom, your principles. Your father is seen from there. Okay, and Mercury isn't one of your best planets. So both these planets, being conjunct in the 8th house, I don't really consider this as a very good time, especially when Mercury goes retrograde. This can cause a breakup in people. This can cause a separation. So again, be very mindful how you're communicating, right? Because Mercury is communication, all right? And Mercury governs your 7th house of your spouse, of your business partners. So people who are in business and who are in relationships, it's time to be very logical. It's not the time to be emotional and have emotional outbursts. Things that you've kept pent up anger, emotions can come out this time and cause a lot of friction between people. So if you're planning to have a showdown, this is not the time period, especially when Mercury is retrograde. Okay, and when one of your most benefic planet, Sun, is in the 8th house, right? Sun doesn't like being in the 8th house, right? 8th house is the house of Scorpio, and Sun is a luminary. So this particular transit can bring out secrets, things that you've been trying to hide from people. If someone is having an affair, this could come out during this particular time. So if you're having an affair, it's not very good. So be very careful. Things that you're trying to hide can come out, especially to do with communication. All right, Mercury going retrograde and Sun transiting in the 8th house. Sun is also the significator of your bhagya, your luck. So your bhagyesh is going to the 8th house, 12th from itself. Not a very good time. All right. This could trigger a new relationship as well, because Mercury retrograde time, during this particular time, someone from your past could come and get back in touch with you. But you need to be very careful. People who are into any kind of research, occult, astrology, healing, tarot card reading, Vedic astrology, will get fantastic results, because 8th house is the house of research and the unknown, transformation. People who are coaches, a lot of Sagittarius people are coaches. So transformational coaches, behavioral coaches, it's a fantastic time for you, right? Because it resonates with the 8th house. And why am I saying? Because 8th house is 11th from your 10th house. 10th house is your profession. So if you're connected to all these in the occult related industry, in research related industry, this could give you fantastic results. All right, you may see that you may network with people who are into occult. You might want to get your astrology charts read during this particular time, because 11th house, 10th it's 11th from it, right? So you might have interest in all of those things. Because Jupiter is right now again in your 7th house, and Mercury is going retrograde, right? Is the lord of your 7th house where Jupiter is transiting. Okay. People who are dealing with property related issues, buying property, buying vehicles, this is not a very good time. Mercury going retrograde. Okay. Because Saturn is trine from Mercury and Sun right now. So there could be some paperwork related issues. There could be a sudden change of place, sudden change of location. There could be delay in people who are trying to buy a property. There could be some kind of delay in it. There could be some kind of a issue with buying or selling vehicles. People may consider buying and selling property right now, and they might want to do it in a hurry. So if you're doing that, it will cause you a lot of problems. Remember, Mercury is contracts and things that you sign. It's communication. So don't be in a hurry, because 8th house is the house of sudden events, and Mercury and Sun both are fast moving planets, and when they pass through an 8th house, they can cause sudden events. So be mindful about anything, any kind of dealings that you're doing to do with your house and your vehicles. Even the ones who are living in a rented house, you need to be very careful, right? Especially with Saturn being there and Saturn being trine in the transit Saturn and transit Mercury and Sun will be in trine during this time I have mentioned. Okay, look after your, it's not a good time for your health and the health of your family as well. So I'm sorry, Sagittarius people, I don't have good news for you. There could be issues with your father's health and as well as your mother's health. All right, so not the best time. So be very mindful. It's a good time to spend with your family. If you don't live with them, it's good time to go visit them and spend time with them. Get a health checkup done. Go join the gym, do yoga, eat very healthy food. All right, and don't take any risks during this time that can get you injured or get your bones broken. Yeah, not the safest time with two planets transiting in your 8th house and Mercury going retrograde and Saturn going retrograde on the 13th of July, just tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the Capricorn Ascendants. So Capricorn Ascendant, Sun is transiting to your 7th house of your relationship, of your business partnership, of other people, and Mercury is also there already, and Mercury is going to go retrograde. So we have to look at both of them. We can't just only talk about Sun. Now, is Sun a good planet for you? No, Sun is not. Sun is the biggest problematic planet for the Capricorn people. Why? Because Sun considers your Lagna Lord Saturn as its enemy. And Sun is also your 8th Lord of sudden events, of transformation. And is Mercury a good planet for you? Mercury is one of your most benefic planet. Why? Because it has the lordship of your 9th. Okay? However, these particular days that I have mentioned here, you need to be extremely careful with how you communicate with your, if you're already in a relationship, how you're communicating with your partner, because Mercury retrograde can cause miscommunication. On the brighter side, it can also give you heart-to-heart communication with your partner, but you must pick the right time. Just because you're feeling emotional, that doesn't mean you sit your partner down and your partner is not ready to talk to you. Okay? So timing is very, very important. But this particular trigger in your 7th house can definitely cause some ups and downs in relationships. So be very, very careful, especially if your moon is not well placed in your birth chart, or if you have malefics like Mars or Sun itself in the sign of Cancer, especially in Ashlesha Nakshatra. Okay? Same applies for your business partnership. This can open up business partnership. Mercury is the Karaka and the significator of business. So Capricorn Ascendants can suddenly get calls and opportunities to start business. Be mindful about it, because Mercury is going to be retrograde. Signing documents, especially business related documents, be very careful. This particular transit for some people can cause sudden marriage. Okay? Why? Because Mercury is your 9th Lord, and marriage is seen from the 9th Lord. Alright? Because you need a ritual for marriage. And Sun is the trigger of sudden events. Sun is also the Karaka of your in-laws. Alright? So your 9th Lord and your 8th Lord is being conjunct in the 7th house. Okay? People who are in a court case, they could get benefit from it. Why? Because this is forming a very interesting yoga. Your 6th lord and your 8th lord is conjunct in the 7th house, right? Which means court cases, people who are getting, who are into any kind of inheritance related court case or any kind of dispute, they could benefit from it because it is forming something called as a Vipareet Raj Yoga. Your 6th lord Mercury and your 8th lord Saturn is conjunct and forming a bit of a Buddhaditya Yoga in your 7th house. However, Sun is not considered good in the 7th house because it lacks strength there, right? So like I said, your focus should be on how you communicate with people, especially your partner, your business partner and your spouse, because Sun can give you anger and ego related issues and miscommunication during this particular time. Okay? The ones who are married, there could be problems with your wife's family also, because Sun is the significator of your in-laws. So be very nice to your mother-in-law. Okay? Well, that's pretty much it. It can also trigger a lot of interest in occult and higher knowledge, and can trigger a long distance journey with your, it could be a foreign travel because it's happening in Cancer. Mercury is the Karaka of your 9th lord as well. So if you're in a relationship, you're married, you could consider traveling with your partner. You will get good results. But remember the way you communicate, where you text your partner, where you email your partner, it should be logical and not emotional. Alright, look after your father's health. It could cause some concern issues with your father's health, and also your spouse. If you're a Capricorn ascendant, this conjunction is happening in your 7th house. So it can trigger some kind of a health related issue as well to your spouse. Right? Well, that's pretty much it. People who are wanting to learn something new, this is also a good time. Mercury is the Karaka of higher learning for you. Sun is also the Karaka of transformation and research. So a lot of Capricorn people can find a breakthrough in a lot of their ideology and their principles because of higher knowledge and education. Okay? Right. Let's look at the Aquarius ascendant people. This conjunction is happening in your 6th house, and Mercury is one of your most benefic planet because it's the lord of your 5th house, and Sun happens to be not your best planet. Sun considers Saturn as its enemy, and it's got the lordship of your 7th house, which again, it is a Kendra house, but again it can give you negative results as well. Let's look at it. So people who are into court cases, okay, especially alimony related court cases, right? Because 7th house, Sun is the significator of your spouse, by the way. Okay, so this can give you mixed results. If your moon in your chart is very, very strong and well placed, and your Mercury is also very, very strong, you may get positive results, but there could be a delay. There could be some kind of a miscommunication with your lawyer and spouse. All right. So for your relationship, I don't consider this as a very good time. People who are in a relationship, there could be emotional outbursts and problems with your spouse. So the advice is, it's better not to say anything to your partner and your spouse if you have nothing good to say, especially the time when Mercury is retrograde. Emotional outbursts can be seen, ego related issues can be seen during this particular time. Okay. Now your spouse might want to travel to a different place as well. Okay. The Sun is going 12th from itself. Okay. It could be because of an argument. You will say, hey, listen, I just want to take some time off and I'm going to this retreat. I'm going for a few days just to sort out my head. All this can be seen. Okay. Miscommunication. So how you text people, how you email people, how you speak to people is of primary importance. So you need to give in some thought. Even though if you have anger or if you have any pent up issues, this is not a very good time. It can cause a lot of problems, right? Saturn is your Lagna Lord. Remember guys, Saturn is going retrograde tomorrow, July 13th. Okay, and Mercury is your one of your most benefic planet. It is your it also governs your children. Okay, so especially men, you need to be very, very careful, right? So look after your health. It's time to spend good time to spend with your children, and not to get into any unnecessary dispute or argument. The ones who are business owners, you may get opportunities to sign contracts, business related contracts during this particular time. You need to be very mindful, especially during the time I've mentioned of when Mercury is retrograde. You may get cheated. Okay, so read through all the paperwork if you're signing documents. All right, especially if you're doing anything to do with the government. See, Sun is the Karaka of government. If you're doing any government related paperwork, go file your taxes. Okay, do not delay and forget about not filing taxes. So people who will default may get into trouble. Now, this is a fantastic. The remedies that I'll give you is sixth house is the house of service and seva. So people who are wanting to get a job, it can trigger a job for people. Yeah, a new job, even government related job. Mercury does very well in the sixth house. Remedies is seva. All right, you need to feed animals, you need to look after poor people, charity. See, this is the 6th and 12th house axis. So you need to donate money, you need to spend time looking after the needy people. Okay? And you will find a lot of peace of mind. And it will also give you positive results. Okay? Expenses could be high, so you need to watch out for your expensive. Don't take impulsive decisions to suddenly travel somewhere. Okay? That's pretty much it. Let me see if I missed anything. If your Mercury is very well placed, this is forming a Viparit Raj Yoga. And people who have a very, very strong chart, and if your moon is, like I said, very well placed, they can get fantastic results in the industries like sport. They can get a new job to do with accounting, because Mercury in the 6th can give you jobs like that. Okay. Good time for lawyers, especially who are into anything to do with competition. Good time for sports related people who are into the sports industry, lawyers, people who are into the medicine, pharma related industry, doctors. Yeah. From the health point of view, this is not the best time, so look after your health. Yeah. All right, let's look at the Pisces. The Pisces people, Saturn is transiting in your first house, right? And Sun is transiting in your 5th house. Is Sun a good planet for you? Well, Sun is the friend of Jupiter, but it has been given the lordship of the 6th house. Okay? So, from the house point of view, the lordship point of view, Sun is a malefic planet for the Pisces people. The lord of the 6th house going to the 5th house, which is one of your best houses. Right? Is Mercury a benefic planet for you? I would give Mercury, yes. Mercury is neutral because Mercury has been given the Kendra houses, but it's not a friend of Jupiter. So, since Mercury is governing the 4th house, which is of your home, your comfort, your vehicles, the house that you live in, your property, your land, and your spouse, your business partnership, other people, that particular planet will be conjunct with the 6th Lord Sun. Okay? Which means there could be delays, government related delays in business contracts, or just problems with it, and with acquiring new property, land, buying, selling property or land, apartments, and for vehicles. So you need to be very, very careful, especially during Mercury retrograde period, before you sign a document. Okay? You need to also be extremely careful with your communication with your spouse, because it's your 7th house and your business partnership. You may get opportunities for business partnership because it's happening in your 5th house, and 5th house is a good house. And if your moon is very well placed, if you're also a Pisces moon, this will trigger events. Okay? This may activate your Purva Punya Bhava. Childbirth can be seen from this. A new relationship can be also seen, and lots of gains from your network circle can be seen. People may want to start and get gains in any kind of industry to do with entertainment, speculation, education for children. Okay, look out for your children during the ones who are parents. Look out for your children, because Sun is going to be transiting in your 5th house. It can give some kind of health issues to your children, and also about your own health. Yeah, especially your stomach related area. Yeah, good time to get a health checkup done, especially with Saturn going retrograde in your 1st house. I've made a separate video for the Pisces moon and the Pisces ascendant people, so check those videos out and you might get a lot of help. Saturn is going to be trine from this particular placement of Sun, transit of Sun and Mercury. This may cause health related problems, especially to the father, your father. So look out for your father's health. People who have a very, very strong and powerful moon, this could be financially very, very good for you, right? Especially the ones who are into any kind of entertainment or artist, or any kind of creative industry. People who are trying to get into the creative industry, or anything to do with artwork, this is a good particular time, right? Sun in the 5th house. People who are going through court cases, if your Sun is very, very powerful in your natal chart, you may get positive results, and you may get a good verdict. Okay, so that's all I have for the Pisces people. Let's look at the Aries. Aries, this particular transit of Sun is in your 4th house. Mercury doesn't really like being in Cancer and in 4th house. Mercury governs your 3rd house and your 6th house. So this could cause again some kind of an issue at home, and in your peace of mind. People who are planning on buying property right now, you need to be very careful with your paperwork. Right? There could be some kind of a delay because Saturn is trine from Mercury and Sun right now. Okay, your children, look after your children's health, because it is your 5th lord and it is going 12th from itself. So your communication with your children, there could be some kind of a friction, especially during when Mercury is retrograde. Look after your stomach as well. This can give skin and stomach related issues. This could also trigger travel for a lot of people. People could also look at acquiring land, property, and buying new vehicles. Since this particular Sun transit is looking at your 10th house, this can give you good news from your work. Okay, people may also look at multiple sources of income and investment right now. Remember, Saturn is trine from Sun in this transit, and it's in the 12th house. So keep your expenses really low, but travel is definitely on the cards. Okay, you could consider some kind of a renovation of your house as well. Short-term travel and long-term travel both are in the cards during this particular time. There could be some kind of a communication related issue at your home where you live. So with your family members, especially your children and spouse and your mother, be very careful how you communicate. Don't have emotional. You may have emotional outbursts, or one of your family members may have an emotional outburst during this particular time. Especially if they have, if you have malefic planets in Cancer like Mars, or if you have Saturn, or if you have Sun itself. Well, Sun is a very, very benefic planet for you. So overall, I think this transit is more positive for you and can give you very, very good results financially and as well as for your family. Right, let's look at the Taurus Ascendants. So Taurus Ascendants, this particular transit is happening in your 3rd house. Is Sun a good planet for you? Let's see, Sun is the lord of your 4th house. So it's a lord of your Kendra house. Is Sun friends with Venus? Answer is no. Okay. Mercury is already there. So 3rd house is the house of creativity. It's of your courage. it's of your younger sibling, it's of your neighbors. And all this, Mercury is the karaka of the of communication, and Sun is your soul, is your father. So good time to look after your father's health. There could be some issues regarding your father's health. Maintain good relationship with your younger sibling. There could be communication related issues with your neighbors. Don't fight with your neighbors for mundane things. Even with your younger sibling, it's good to re-establish bonds with your neighbors and your younger sibling. You'll get positive results. Fantastic time to do something creative, especially with your hands, writing and communication. You will get good results. People who are looking at getting into anything to do with artwork, business, they want to start a business, this is a fantastic time, especially with Sun in the 3rd house and Mercury also being there. And usually if your Venus is very well placed, you can get very good creative ideas and a new idea to start a new project or start a new business. You can get positive results in your work right now, your career. Okay. There could be some kind of a delay or in anything to do with your property or house. So people who are, again, so the Sun is the karaka of your 4th house, which is your land, your property, your house that you live in. So people who are looking at buying and selling land, property, vehicles right now, you need to be very careful, right? I would say if you have malefics in your 4th house, you must avoid this particular time. Now there could be a sudden change of place, okay, or you might consider moving your house during this particular time, or you might just go to a long vacation and go live with your family during this particular time. All right, so let me know if you're considering these things. Overall, for your career, this the current transits are very, very good. Okay. Gemini ascendants. Jupiter is in your 1st house right now. It's transiting there. Let's look at the Sun transit. Is Sun a good planet for you? Is it a friend of Mercury? Why? Because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Yes, Sun and Mercury are very, very good friends, and they are going to be conjunct. Okay. From the house placement, Sun has been given the 3rd house lordship. So it is a malefic planet, even though it is a friend of Mercury. So this particular time period I've mentioned, it could give you a lot of confusion and miscommunication. Geminis, you need to be very, very careful with how you communicate during this particular time. Okay? Especially with especially at work, because it is going to be trine from Saturn. Saturn is transiting in your 10th house. There could be emails which are misinterpreted. There could be written text communication, phone calls. There could be emotional outbursts that you could see in your family, in your surroundings, and even with your partner. Your spouse may have emotional outbursts. So you got to watch out and be very diplomatic during this time and not fuel their anger or fire. Okay. This conjunction is happening in your 2nd house, so it becomes even more important, especially if your moon is not very well placed, or if you have malefics in Cancer in your natal charts. You need to be very, very careful. If you have a younger sibling, it's good to reconnect with your younger sibling. This can give you health related issues as well. So you need to be very careful the time Mercury is retrograde. So look out for your health, especially your shoulder, your neck related area, and also look after your skin. There could be a change of career as well that is seen from this particular transit. A lot of people may consider a business, especially the ones that are employed right now. There could be change of role in the same company, change of profile. There could be organizational changes that you might witness during this particular time. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. From the relationship point of view, it's looking all right. However, you need to watch out with your communication, especially with Mercury. I've mentioned that already. That's pretty much it. Cancer. This particular transit is in Cancer. So Sun. Is Sun a good planet for you? Well, not really, because Sun is governing your second house, but Sun is the significator of money, your family, your resources. All right, and we know Sun has a lot of power in the first house, right? So Sun transiting to the first house, you may get recognized at your work, hopefully for the right reasons. Okay, the reason I'm saying that is because Mercury is also there, and Mercury doesn't like being in the sign of Cancer, and it's going to go retrograde. So Cancer people, you're usually known to be very loving, very nice, emotional people. You guys are capable of having an emotional outbursts during this time, especially the time I have mentioned when Mercury is retrograde. Okay, so be very careful with how you communicate, especially with your spouse, because both these planets, Sun and Mercury, is looking at your 7th house, and Sun, although has a lot of strength in the first house, but it can give you a lot of ego and anger. Yeah, it's a ball of fire. So how you communicate with your family, your spouse, and at work is very, very important. A lot of transits like this, I have seen people taking emotional decisions and not logical decisions, right? Mercury is the planet of logic, and when Mercury goes retrograde, either people become too critical, too logical, or they become they use no logic. So that's it goes in an either way. So depending on how your natal Mercury is in your chart. So if your natal Mercury is retrograde, if you're born with natal Mercury as retrograde, you may find this time being overly critical of other people. So don't do that. And if you feel like that, it's just be quiet. Don't tell people. Don't try to find flaws in other people. That can cause some problems. Otherwise, it's a very the other transits look good from the financial point of view. The first few weeks of this transit looks very good. You might have help from your family as well. You might reconnect with your family. Jupiter is in your 12th house. Rahu is transiting in your 8th house. Saturn in your 9th house. So great time for transformation. People who want to learn something new. Travel. This is a very, very good time. This particular transit is trine from Saturn, so Saturn will have a very, very strong impact on it. Look after your health. Look after your father's health as well. Sun is the karaka of the father. Overall, I see it's good for your work, recognition, money making. It's very good for the relationship. You need to be a little careful. Alright, that's all I have. So if you like this video, hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you need a consultation, my information is right here. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.